and his wife Susan as they journey from Tooting to the slums of Sao Paulo, Brazil, in search of a baby.
Hello? Is Hildegard Efsimiadis there, please? Hello, Hildegard. It's Susan Kelly, ringing from London. I'm very well, thank you. And you? Ray and I just wanted to know if you had any news on our baby. Next couple of days. Will you telephone Ray and I once you know if the baby is available, please?
The baby Ray and Susan want is the one they've been unable to have themselves. The Kellys own a thriving fruit and vegetable shop in South London. They have no family, despite intensive treatment for infertility. They tried to adopt in Britain, but Ray, who is 38, was told he was too old. So they've decided to do what an increasing number of couples are doing: look for a baby from abroad. In November, they got the phone call they'd been waiting for. A baby is available for them. They decide to leave immediately.
Yes, please. 2 nice comfy seats. Is there anything we have to do at Amsterdam, or do we just go in transit?
You're through checked all the way through to Rio, so you've got your seats and everything pre-assigned from here.
Right, now I've made a list of all the people to phone when we get the news about the baby.
Yeah, okay.
So we'll phone you, and if you can ring all those people there.
Okay.
And the contact for Brazil, Hildegard's phone number's there at the bottom.
Okay, lovely.
Okay, and we'll phone you
as you can.
Yeah, right. Okay.
Be a good boy. Look after your little sister. Okay.
Anthony, be a good boy. See you soon. We'll send you a postcard. Okay. Bye.
The quest for the family that Ray and Susan are yearning for has begun. The Kellys wrote to over 25 countries asking about the possibilities of adoption. In the end, they chose Brazil because a friend had brought back 2 children from Sao Paulo. Sao Paulo is one of the fastest growing cities in the world. It's the industrial heart and the business capital of Brazil. The Kellys were collected at the airport by Hildegard, their contact.
Please do call me Chip, because everyone else does. And even so my name is Hildegard, I'm Chip. You know, there are so many couples now asking for help. You're the 26th I'm helping.
Chip has been arranging adoptions for 3 years. Her husband is a wealthy businessman. She believes it's a good cause and makes no money from it. But sending babies out of Brazil is highly controversial, and many Brazilians are opposed to foreign adoption.
Well, we don't know when you check out. Now you have to sign. Let me see. Oh, you did. Yeah. Okay. Yes, he's going to get it. Is it not? So, let's see.
First, Chip had to break bad news. About the baby the Kellys had flown out to adopt.
Oh, there was a baby born on the 8th of this month, which was supposed to be your baby. And, but apparently it has mental problems. And the doctor who delivered it, and the pediatrician,
Pediatrician,
thank you, said you shouldn't take it. The risk is just too great. But I wanted to tell you, because this really was a child that was supposed to be yours.
I see. Okay.
And in this case, I would say, don't take it. Because it's the only, you know, good thing about adopting a baby. You can get a healthy child.
And do you say this was the baby that was all lined up for us?
Yes.
The little boy?
Yes.
There you go.
Next morning, the search begins. It's taken the Kellys over a year to save for the trip. They can't waste time. They've allowed 4 weeks, then their money will run out. Chip drives to one of the slum areas. She's heard of a baby which is about to be born here.
I'm going to take you now to meet Sueli, who is a pregnant mother. And it's very important for you to meet her and for her to meet you and find out that she likes you.
Yeah, lovely. Looking forward to it?
Well, I don't think looking forward to it is the right word. But yeah, I mean, I want to go, but I don't know that I will.
How you feel about it?
I don't know that I'm going to enjoy seeing people that have to live in such bad conditions.
Yes, but you see, there is one thing where you can't forget, it's a Brazilian reality you're going to face.
The mother they're going to meet has her own fears. She's heard that every baby that goes to Europe becomes a slave. Sueli is expecting her 8th child.
This is Sueli. São eles que querem pegar.
Yeah.
E eu queria que você conhecesse eles.
tudo bem.
E eles queriam conhecer você. I said I wanted her to meet you and I wanted you to meet her.
That's a good idea.
Because I think she has a right to know who is going to take care of her child.
Of course. And when does she think the baby is due?
She went to see the doctor last week and he said it's going to be born this month.
This month.
E se você também, Sueli, se você precisa de medicamentos, qualquer coisa,
Tá bom.
você avisa a gente.
Aviso.
You know, I said if she would need some medicine, she can tell us. They never have money to buy it.
No,
so
of course not. And how does she get to the hospital when the baby is coming?
there is a small hospital near here where if in case the child would arrive very quickly, she could go there. But she says if not, she's taking the bus.
She has to take a bus.
Do they
bus.
not have ambulances? No?
Very
No, I
few.
mean, And she's quite happy to part with the baby and let Ray and I take it, you think? Or is that too soon to discuss?
Eles gostariam de saber se você acha que você realmente vai aceitar eles como...
Claro, claro.
Naturally she would.
Next, their search moves on to a small private orphanage full of children who've been abandoned. Chip feels the Kellys might have a better chance here.
You can pick him up if you want to, if he comes.
Yes, I'm sure he will with Ray.
Como se chama ele?
Hey, what's your name?
Mikey?
Marquinhos.
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 Marquinhos? Hello. How are you? Have you just had your lunch?
Ainda não fala inglês.
Was it nice?
Come on, you can carry him.
Yeah, sure.
Would you adopt him? Would you take him?
Definitely, yes.
We'll take him now.
Where is the mother? She leaves Marquinhos here to be cared for.
Yes, because she works and can't keep him.
He's adorable.
We would obviously like to start with a baby, but if we find there's a child there that's 6, 7 months old, and the authorities want it to be ours, we'll take it. The sex of the child matters not in the slightest. In fact, if we could have one of each, that would be brilliant.
Ray, can you tie this in a knot for me? I'm hopeless at doing knots. This is the little boy
Who wants
here.
this one?
I would like to have a reasonable sized family. Well, I like children, probably because I'm still one myself.
I wish I understood what you were saying.
I would just like to have some children around.
Ray is talking about coming back with several children. So I think 3 would probably be a little bit difficult to cope with.
Sao Paulo is a magnet for people desperate for work. 14 million people live here, some in incredible luxury, others in extreme poverty. Slums exist alongside the skyscrapers. Disease and poverty make it hard for children to survive. In the slums of Sao Paulo, hundreds of babies die every day before they're a year old. Many children who do survive are stunted in mind and body through lack of proper food and medical care. This voluntary worker is nursing one child back to health.
3 months ago, she found this little boy who is 2 years old. He was with his mother at the traffic light asking for money. So she went and talked to the mother and said, look, your child is going to die. And the mother said, oh no, he has nothing. It's just, you know, the way he is. And she asked him, can I please take him to the doctor? And she said on the way, she really thought he was going to die in her arms. Well, they had him in a hospital, and afterwards he was, you know, taken out of the hospital. And when she took him back to his mother, the mother nearly killed her and said, what have you done to my child? Because as long as he was in a very bad shape, she would make more money out of it. It's terrible because, like this man who just told her, I've seen him again at the traffic light with his mother at night asking for money. And, you know, she even went to see the judge, and the judge said, the only thing I can do, I take him away and I give him to the Feben. But they all feel it's better for him, you know, to stay in the favela and stay with her at his little crèche than being put to the Feben. I think it's heartbreaking because he has no future, no future.
If the children do survive, they have to scratch a living on the streets of Sao Paulo. This boy is only 8 years old. Some children have a family to go back to, but others are completely abandoned. There are over 1 million children who live and work on the streets of Sao Paulo. It's getting worse. The number has almost doubled in the last 3 years. Many of them turn to crime and prostitution just to survive. Because there's no certainty of getting the 2 children they've come across so far, Chip takes the Kellys to a second orphanage where they know of 2 babies who have been taken to Britain.
The children here have been abandoned by their parents, but they have not been liberated yet by the judge. But he is studying each case separately, because as I told you before, they have to wait 4 years. But in the case of small children, they really should try, you know, to do.
Bon, con exception d'Afrique Joseph, hein?
So, I mean, is there a possibility that Ray and I could have one of these babies?
And this would be the only one where there would be a possibility. This is Daniela. Her mother went into the Amparo Maternal with 5 children and had this one, which was her 6th. And her mother died 2 days after she was born.
Really?
And she was born when the mother was 7 months pregnant.
Thank you.
Hi there. Oops, I better get out of here, it's a bit tight. Right. Would you like to have a squeeze? Yes?
That's right.
Is she okay? See?
Hello.
Well, look at that face.
How are you?
Her father was run over by a car about 2 months before she was born and was in a coma. So when his wife died, he didn't even know about it.
Oh, that's true.
Brazilian law is very strict. Abandoned children can only be adopted if their parents give permission. The judge can only take over the child's future if the parents have abandoned it for over 4 years. Those 4 years allow the parents to change their minds. But it also means that as the child becomes more institutionalized, it's less likely to be wanted by a couple.
How many children have been adopted from here?
14. From the orphanage.
What would our chances be on adopting Daniela?
There again, Daniela is not an abandoned child, she has a father. So what Guillaume is trying to do is get in touch with the father and explain him there is a couple and they want Daniela, you know. And perhaps he's going to say yes.
So how long will we have to wait to find that out? Do you know,
I think
Chip?
about a week.
About a week.
Within 3 days of arriving, the Kellys have already found 3 possibilities: a little boy, a girl, and Suali's baby. But there are complicated Brazilian formalities to overcome.
Although my mind's buzzing, we've done so much in the last couple of days, and there's so much to try and sort out, isn't there?
Just waiting. It's the only thing you can do. You can't force anything. And you also always must realize, even so now you have 3 opportunities, it's possible that none of them works out.
Oh, that's right. I have that in the back of my mind. It scares
me.
me.
Keep it in the back of your mind.
Yeah.
The Kellys aren't the only foreigners searching for a baby in Sao Paulo. They come all the time. Another British woman has been here for 6 weeks. Her husband couldn't afford to travel with her, and now she's nearly run out of money. But just 2 days ago, Christine Mathis had gone to a maternity hospital where she was given a baby at the gates.
She was very beautiful. She was an absolute little rosebud. Very, very beautiful. And I'll never forget her face because she was so beautiful. And then I just got a taxi. I was given the baby and I got a taxi and took her home, you know, to my friend's home. Then during the night, Giovanna whimpered an awful lot.
But she was a healthy baby.
She was a very healthy looking baby, very healthy and heavy. She was born a big baby, and she was perfectly healthy, so I kept picking her up, so I got to know her even more. And
you took care of her all by yourself?
Oh, yes, yes. Well, I remember there was a terrific lot of washing to do because she had been so sick in the night. And I went into the laundry to do this. And when I came back out, there was another phone call for me. Mrs. Hennessy said, "Look, Christine, I don't know how to tell you this, but the mother's come back." And what's the baby? And that was very difficult.
Yes, imagine.
The most heartbreaking thing for me at that point was to know that the mother didn't want the baby, but her father said she had to have it. He said, more or less, you cooked the pudding, you eat it, and don't you put the responsibility onto other people. He hadn't known about the baby.
In this maternity hospital, the Amparo Maternal, most of the staff are completely against foreign adoptions. But the Kellys have heard of several babies who've gone to Britain from here. Unmarried mothers who've nowhere else to live can stay here until their babies are born. Then most of them will give them up.
Aren't they beautiful? Absolutely beautiful.
How old are these babies?
Anything from 3 days to a week, she just said.
These have all been abandoned?
Yes, they have all been abandoned.
And do these yet have parents to adopt them?
Yes.
They all have?
Yes, unfortunately.
Unfortunately for us. Unfortunate for them.
Yeah. But look at the different colours.
Yes, it's amazing, isn't it? He's going to have another yell in a minute. I'm sure you must be very hungry.
Today there are about 20 abandoned babies, but sometimes this room is full. Officially, there's no chance of adopting any of them. They'll all stay in Brazil. But 2 of the senior nuns and the hospital doctor have agreed to meet the Kellys, who are now desperate to take one of the babies they've seen.
Well, the first question is, what would be the possibilities of adopting a baby from this hospital?
Sim, bom, ele diz, a primeira pergunta logicamente é se tem possibilidade de adotar uma criança de aqui.
E como nós temos muitos casais brasileiros pretendendo uma criança e aqui só temos bebês, não crianças maiores, que são mais difíceis de serem escolhidas, então por isso aqui é sempre interditado.
She says that there's so many Brazilian couples interested that there is really no chance for a foreigner to adopt a child.
Se ele vai ao juiz de menores, sobretudo daqui da nossa região,
if the judge would permit you to pick up the baby here, they naturally would help you. But they only can do it if the judge
says yes.
Is it possible for Anita to perhaps phone the judge to forewarn him that we will be visiting and put in a good word for us if she's impressed with us?
O próprio casal deve ser apresentado.
That's taboo.
Yes, you really have to go there.
Most Brazilian judges oppose foreigners adopting the local children, but the district judge in charge of juveniles agrees to see all the Kellys' documents. It was a big step forward. The papers had just come back from being translated into Portuguese. They were reports which had been done in London from doctors, social workers, psychologists and their accountant, all to try and prove to the Brazilian authorities that the Kellys would be suitable parents for an adopted child. 2 days later, there's good news. After examining the Kellys' papers, the judge agrees that they may adopt a baby from the Amparo Maternity Hospital, but only if there are no Brazilian couples wanting to adopt. The days pass. The Amparo says there are no babies available for them. Even worse, there's no news on the little boy or girl from the 2 orphanages, and still no sign of Suali's baby. Chip persuaded the Kellys to have a bit of a break.
It won't upset the people at the Amparo if they know that we're getting another baby somewhere else.
First of all, you are going to get the baby at the Amparo. And when we find out about Sueli, I mean, the Brazilian law does not forbid you to take 2 children.
Great.
Have you thought of a name?
If it's a little girl, we'd like to call her Lucy. And if it's a little boy, we would call him Selwin, which is my maiden name. But it makes a nice Christian name. We think so anyway. But if we get 2 little girls or 2 little boys, then we have to think again.
Yeah. Yes, but I think you also should give some, Brazilian name.
It would be a lovely idea.
Right, now we want to go up the road, yes?
I'm Susan. I'm Christine. Pleased to meet you.
Hello, I'm Ray.
Very nice to meet you.
2 weeks have passed, and there's no news of 1 baby, let alone 2. But Christine has at last found another baby. Her husband George had flown in that morning to be with her.
Oh, look,
She's smiling.
Yeah, she's smiling.
Isn't that nice? Now she's pulling her face though.
So when did you get her?
Saturday. And the mother picked the baby up off the bed and handed her to me, which was really quite touching, to say goodbye to it, must have been.
Has her mother had any more children?
No, that's her first one.
She's 20.
This one's mother apparently has nothing at all to go to, work or anything.
Does she have documents?
The baby?
No, the mother.
I don't know.
You have to find out.
I don't know.
That's very important.
She's written this note, to say that she's giving it away, and that I don't know about that. I'll have to ask her.
When are you going to
We're
see
so
the judge?
green about everything. We want to go to the judge tomorrow because, of course, until we've been there, she isn't legally ours. And we've been through a very sad experience already with one that we had and then was taken away again. So it's a bit worrying at the moment. We already feel like she's ours, you see.
Oh,
and
for sure.
so the sooner we get
sure
her...
now you've got her, nothing will take her away.
Encouraged by Christine's progress, Ray and Susan decide to visit Suali.
Got that nice bunch of grapes, which can...
They take her some fruit. They've only just come in time. Because Suali had not seen the Kellys for 2 weeks, she thought that they were no longer interested in her baby. Now she's in contact with an Italian woman who's making her own arrangements to adopt the baby as soon as it's born. Ray and Susan assure her that they really want her baby.
And especially, she said she feels it's time now.
As long as she knows that we will not leave her anywhere.
No, mas Sueli, a Susan disse, nós não vamos deixar você lá, tá? Se eles dizem que ainda não é, a gente leva você de volta até aqui. E a gente vem amanhã cedo. I said we could come again tomorrow morning.
Oh,
Yes?
sure.
Oh, certainly.
Yes? Yeah, I think we better go.
Right.
Thank you.
Okay.
The Kellys have been in Sao Paulo for 3 weeks. Time and money are beginning to run out for them, and there's still no news of Suali's baby. Suddenly, on December the 1st, the Amparo rings to say that there's a baby boy for the Kellys. They have to meet the mother first before going to court with her.
Susan? Yes, you're Ray.
Hello? Nice to meet you.
E são eles que querem tirar o teu neném. Tá? I told her that you are going to take her son.
Yes.
Marlene is 23 years old.
And we just got his birth certificate. See, they really put the name Selwin,
Yes.
John, the way you wanted it.
Lovely.
He was born at 9:10 in the evening.
So we didn't see him that
You
day.
didn't see him that day. And he was weighing 3 kilo 450 grams, which is perfect.
6-7 pounds, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, perfect
lovely.
weight.
Okay.
So, I mean, it says for the judge, I keep it.
Yes.
Marlene, vamos almoçar, tá? Então lá a gente pode conversar pouco.
Marlene is unmarried, but the baby is her 3rd child.
Você gostaria de abrir? Yeah, she would like to.
And this is the bedroom that Selwin will have.
E esse vai ser o quarto da criança.
It emerges that Marlene wants her baby to be adopted because a year ago her boyfriend took her last baby away from her. But he didn't feed it and the baby died. She felt her boyfriend had killed it. Now she wanted her new baby to be taken right out of Brazil.
This is our trained
E o Ray, ele adora brincar com trem. Então ele sempre falou, se for menino, porque ele queria...
Ele também brinca.
That afternoon they all went to court. It was a crucial day which would alter all their lives. Both the Kellys and Marlene had to be examined by a court psychologist to make sure that Marlene really wanted to give up her baby and that Susan and Ray were suitable to be the baby's legal guardians. Also waiting on the same afternoon were Christine and her husband. This was their 2nd day trying to get the papers for the baby they already had. This is a stage where some Brazilian mothers have second thoughts about giving up their babies. But at last, after 5 hours, Christine and her husband got the legal guardianship of their baby. And the Kellys got the piece of paper to say Selwin was theirs.
And this is the sentence of the judge saying that Raymond William Kelly and Susan Pearl Kelly, are having, can have the baby Selwin John Tavares, right. And that you have to send twice a year a relatory saying that the baby's okay with photographs.
A pleasure.
A pleasure,
yes.
And this is to Irma Rosina, that you can take the baby out of the hospital. So, everything's done.
Thank you. 3.
3 para casar.
The next morning at the hospital, they waited while the nurses got the baby ready.
She's going to hand you the baby over in this room, so you wait. Okay.
Marlene, Alexandre Tavares, tá. Então como é que vocês querem que faça? Vai lá?
Como?
Vou já buscar?
Pode.
Então eu vou buscar.
She's going to get him for you.
Okay.
Don't you want to sit down, or are you too nervous?
Yes, I'll sit down. Oh, we don't want to get the wrong baby. Isn't he beautiful? Oh, isn't he
Quem vai quedar?
Who wants to hold him? She asked.
Me. Hang on. He's got curly hair.
Eles devem entregar lá pro porteiro para deixar sair. Então avisa lá na Inglaterra que nós atendemos um pedido de exceção do juiz, né?
Esse já.
Tá bom. Ela tá
Eu
chorando.
vou pegar uma mamadeira para ele.
Ai, 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 ai. É, ele parece.
He's looking at you.
O semblante. Né?
Hold him.
Hello. É, como vai chamar? The name.
Selwin.
Saul.
Selwin.
Selwin. Tá feliz, né?
I'm your new dad. How do you do? This is your
He's
mum.
so tiny.
Cadê a Chips? Eu preciso falar com ele.
He's poking his tongue out at you already.
He's probably hungry. He's wide awake. So what do you think? Will you do? Yes? Can you reach across? And this window, Ray, please. Is it okay to close? Yes.
If it's your parents, I'll hand it over, okay?
It doesn't matter.
Hello. Hello, Daddy. How are you?
Granddaddy.
We've got our baby. It's a little boy. He's crying. Hello. We got a little boy this morning. Yeah, he's beautiful. We've got his birth certificate and we've called him Selwin. It's lovely, isn't it? It's lovely. Yeah, he's a beautiful little boy. Yeah, he's got nice dark curly hair. He's magic. He's... Huh? 3.5 kilos. And he was born at 21:10 on the 19th of November. Yeah, he's on the bed here. Yeah, he's beautiful. He's fast asleep at the moment. And we're just taking him to the doctors now.
Almost as soon as they've got the baby, they need to make an appointment with a doctor. Chip was worried about the baby's health. He's too pale and weak, and when he's unwrapped for the first time, they all see he's very thin.
So he has lost 500.
He lost a little bit too much weight in these days. Yes, I think he has a little bit diary, and he also probably didn't receive enough food in these first days. In general, he's okay. Yes, he has nothing very complicated.
He just needs a few days or a week of good care. A few weeks, yes?
Yes. Brain infections are very common in this age. So we make a test tomorrow, make a culture.
Okay.
Yes, for the next days. Yeah.
The examination shows that Selwyn has a fever and mouth ulcers which stop him feeding. The doctor is worried in case the baby's condition rapidly gets worse.
Yes, makes this. And in the afternoon you have the results, then you phone me at home.
I see.
Okay? Okay. We need to be in contact because the things sometimes go very fast. Yeah. Yes.
Oh, good morning.
Hey, we got a visitor.
Is he hungry?
His
Probably,
last
yes,
sleep was
it's just
6:30. What is it now? Yeah. Is that milk time, do you think, then? Right, I'll put some milk in. We've got a bottle already. You've just got to heat it up.
How did he sleep? How was the first night?
Fine.
Really?
He slept right nearly down for the 6:30. 9:30 he had 40 millilitres and we gave him the medicine. And he did wake up about in the middle of the night and Susan tried to feed him but he didn't want anything to eat.
Did you give him milk? Tea? Did you try with tea?
We tried it with that.
No, these were milks and in between he slept. But I don't know what Susan did in the middle of the night.
That's it, you have a rest. Oh, perhaps we finish for a little while. He's had about 25, Ray.
Well, that's a fair amount. And what's the date today, the 3rd? We're going to give him his medicine. So that was the 3rd.
Do you still want him in this position, sort of sitting upright? Okay.
Yes, I'll hold him on his side.
Yes, you don't need to hold his head for this because
He doesn't mind this bit.
Right. Just try and get up. There.
See? Wasn't too bad, was it?
Although the baby is weak, Ray and Susan continue with the business of collecting Selwyn's papers. For his Brazilian passport, he needs a photograph.
Vai. Ok, pronto. Agora o nosso amigo lá.
He needs his eyes open a bit more.
Nosso amigo da câmera. Ok, da minha parte sim.
Hanger for that one.
Oh, you can't have the blue one. Is this all right for you? Good.
Are there any hangers in there, Ray? I want to hang this suit up.
There are none hanging
Oh,
about here.
there's one here.
He's just drunk 40 millilitres.
Has he? Well, congratulations. That's the first time, isn't it?
It's exhausted him and he's now falling asleep.
Let's just make sure he doesn't throw it all back up again.
Yeah. Well, we're just going to have a little rest.
There you go. One clean suit.
Is that one all right for you, Selwyn? Oh, you got it.
Oh, he went to tiddle. All over my leg.
Oh, well done. Oh, well done. Good shot, Selwyn.
Later that afternoon, the Kellys saw the doctor, hoping he'd tell them he'd improved. Instead, that night, he admitted Selwyn as an emergency into a private hospital. He'd been losing weight rapidly and getting very weak. Ray stayed with Selwyn in hospital.
Hello.
He's fine. Fine. Ray can give you all the information because, of course, he's been here all night. He's put on a little bit of weight.
He has.
But all the blood tests so far have proved negative, and it's just the urine infection, which is the easiest one to cope with. Yeah.
They also did the spine. You know, when they go into the spine with a needle and draw out the fluids.
It's
Oh, they did
meningitis.
this too.
Yeah.
Oh. And
those
it's
are
negative.
Negative, yeah, perfect. that
It's
one.
então
The
Pelo menos todas-
X-ray for his lungs
Was
are
perfect.
perfect. He hasn't got pneumonia, so you see they've had to shave a little patch.
Yes.
And you see all the various vitamins and glucose
Yes, this
that's all going through.
the one with the yellow is the glucose with vitamins, and the white one, which is what he's been on.
It's a food.
Yeah, but now he's on a yellow one to match his yellow outfit. you see.
Ele está bem?
Tá bem, só que vai ter que trocar esse soro aí mesmo.
Well, I'm not going to be here when they do that. I just wait outside.
Two days later, Susan visited Sue Ali, whose baby still hadn't come. Then there was an accident, right outside the hospital beneath Selwyn's window. Ray took these photographs. But it was only several hours later that he learned that it was Susan's accident. She'd been admitted unconscious into the hospital. It's one of the most modern in South America, but it's also very expensive. It was costing $200 a day. They had to borrow the money from Chip. The Kellys were forced to leave it before Susan could recover. She had a broken collarbone and broken pelvis. She was still in great pain, but Selwyn was on the mend.
But you'll soon be home properly in England. You'll like that. Be able to see all your friends there.
He's a lot more alert now, isn't he? So it's just one.
One.
One of each?
One of each. Well, let's see. It's 1 o'clock now. So the next one would be at 9, which is a good...
see Mum? Yes. Let's go see Mummy.
Susan cannot hold Selwyn. They've now given up all hope of adopting another child from the orphanages. But Ray is still determined to have a second baby. He's hoping that Sue-Ali will give birth before they leave.
Well done.
With thumbprint and picture in place, Selwyn's passport is now complete.
That's you. And there's your fingerprint. Well done. Are you going to carry it home? There's a good...
He can leave the country.
Yes.
I should imagine this is it.
This is the flight.
This is the flight.
Well, this is the flight.
This is it.
Any minute now they'll be, darling. Don't worry.
Ray will be the first one out.
Oh, here's Susan.
Yes,
Here's Susan. Here's Susan and Grace.
Oh.
Oh, Susan.
Oh, Susan, baby.
Oh, Susan. Oh, Susan. My arms. Oh, Susan.
Hello, dear.
Oh, Susan.
Oh, so lovely to see you.
I haven't seen the baby.
Oh.
Oh, bless her.
Oh, marvellous. Hello, darling. Over the walkway. Okay. Right, over the walkway, down this end.
Sue-Ali's baby was born on the day the Kellys left Brazil.
Mind your ankles, please.
At last, oh, it's lovely.
It's been a long journey.
Isn't it? You're all right.
One month later, Selwyn is thriving and putting on weight. Susan has also got better. Her arm is now out of a sling, and she can at last hold Selwyn.
Oh.
They've given him his mother's name, Selwyn Tavares Kelly. Ray went back to Brazil on Boxing Day. He returned with Ross Honorio Kelly. He is Sue-Ali's baby. The Kellys have now started the formalities for adopting both the boys in Britain. It might take them a year to complete.
We're going in the bath together. If I can get the right angle here.
Ray and Susan had to wait 10 years before their family was together. They spent 6 years undergoing painful treatment for infertility. When that failed, they were luckier than many other couples. They were able to save the £7,000 needed for their search in Brazil. It was a risky gamble, but for the Kellys, it was worth it.
Oh, there we go.
Hey, look at that, lovely. Oh, look at that tummy. All nice and clean. Bless you.
Sports Night in a moment includes